Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Victor, and so yeah, there you can see my team is going to be the same one that we've been using the past several games here. Looking at my opponent's team, it looks to be very powerful, very interesting, kind of original actually, which is pretty cool. So yeah. What do I want to lead with in this one is the question. I think we're going to go with the Electrode again in this one, actually. And, yeah, we'll see how that works out. So I have been having a lot of fun using this team as of late, so hopefully we can keep that rolling here in this one. So there he is, and he's going to go ahead and lead with the Vivillon as we lead with the Hisuian Electrode. So there is the originality, as aforementioned originality rather. So this is a pretty good matchup for us. Now, the only unfortunate thing is he does have very obvious switch into an electric attack from us, but it might be worth it to go ahead and do it anyway. Or could it be worth it for us to just Terra outright? Could that be worth it? Huh. How do we want to play this? I feel like we probably just make the obvious play and go for the Choice Specs Volt Switch first. I'm very tempted to Terra, but I think it's a little too early, so we just go Volt Switch here as he does stay in. Go for the Choice Specs Volt Switch. It is going to knock this thing all the way down to its Focus Sash, but it does survive because of it, and then we are going to get the Pivot. So what attack is he going to go for? That's the question. I think our best answer to this thing is probably going to be to bring the Bisharp in, so that's what we're going to do. So there it is. And he is going to go for the Hurricane, so that is not going to do too much damage to us, fortunately, and no confusion is nice. So the Sucker Punch is really obvious here for us, although at the same time he could, fearing that, easily play around it. So I think our play instead is to actually... I think we actually go for a Brick Break here instead, just in case he decides to switch. That might be the play. Or, I don't want to go for the Sucker Punch, I think, because it's too obvious. So, you know what? I think we're just going to go for the Iron Head, actually, see what he wants to do as he goes for the Sleep Powder. Unfortunately, he does connect with it and put us to sleep. So that is bad for us, obviously. And then, of course, we are going to be asleep this turn, so nothing we can do. So I think our best play here is probably just to stay in and try to wake up. So he probably will switch here, perhaps. So now we're going to Brick Break this turn. Hopefully we can get an early wake. He actually goes for the Quiver Dance, which is very interesting. So he's going to get a special attack, special defense, and speed increase, which is obviously bad news for us. Unfortunately, we are still asleep this turn, so nothing we can do. And so, yeah, I think we have to stay in and just try to wake up here. So we're going to Brick Break again, as he just goes for the Hurricane here. And it does more damage, taking us below half. And he gets the Confusion, which is really unfortunate. Can we wake up this turn? No, unfortunately, we still can't wake up this turn. So this is really bad, actually. 3 straight turns of sleep. I feel like this turn we Sucker Punch. And hopefully we can wake up. I think that's probably our play. So that's what we're going to do here. As we do wake up, fortunately, we are still confused. Can we break through the confusion here is the question. And yes, we do. We do connect with the Sucker Punch and go ahead and take the Pavilion out and knock him down to 5. So that was a pretty interesting opening there to the match. We do get 1-up on him, which is nice. But now... he's going to go ahead and come in with the Lucario, which is obviously bad news. I do kind of want to save Bisharp, although I don't know how useful it's going to be at the HP that it's at, so maybe it's not worth saving it. We do have some switches to the Lucario, so I think our best switch is probably the Mesprit, so we're just going to go ahead and actually switch into that. Try to save the Bisharp for later on down the line. And so yeah, there is the Mesprit, as he is going to go for the Aura Sphere, which is interesting. Not going to do too much damage to us. And this thing is going to take some Life Orb recoil, which is nice, and then we are going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So, looks like perhaps a special set on deck here, which is interesting, which means that it could have coverage for us. So, I think he may well not want to stay in on this matchup, but it's going to be a tough call because Lucario has a really wide move pool. But however, this does look to be a special set. So I think what we're going to do... This is a tough choice. I think we have to... We probably have to just go for a Mystical Power here. So yeah, we're just going to go over the Mystical Power here, as he does stay in, goes for a Steel Beam, lands it, and we just barely survive that with 10 HP in the ready. Takes a ton of recoil damage. We go for the Mystical Power in return. We do connect, and it is going to be enough to go ahead and not only give us a special attack increase, but also take the Lucario down and knock him down to 4. So very interesting turn of events there, as we do get some HP back with the leftovers. So Mesprit definitely worse for wear, but we do get rid of the Lucario, which is nice. Now he's going to go ahead and come in with the Meowscarada, and so from this health, I don't think there's much of a point in trying to switch to save Mesprit, so we're just going to stay in and go for an Ice Beam here, as he does outspeed, of course. Go for the U-turn. Protean going to change him to a Bug type, and obviously that'll be more than enough to finish the Mesprit off and knock us down to 5. The only good thing about this is that he does have to show first, since he did take us out with a pivot move, so we'll be able to bring in a matchup accordingly as to whatever he brings in, and it is going to be the Ursaluna. So that thing's coming in, gets burned by the Flame Orb, which is obviously wildly unfortunate, because that means Guts is going to be active. Now the question is, how do we want to tackle this thing? We do have some options here. I think our best option to tackle this thing probably going to be the Regidrago, actually. So we're going to go ahead and come in with that. And so we should be outspeeding this thing, I think, unless it's like some weird max speed variant. I think he does have a pretty obvious switch here, unfortunately. But I think we probably have to play it safe and just go for the Dragon Energy anyway, so that's what we're going to do. As he does stay in, we go for the Dragon Energy at full HP. We get a crit, actually. Not sure if that mattered or not. I kind of don't think it did, but either way, that gets rid of the Ursaluna in one shot, knocking him down to 3, so that's incredible. Regidrago getting rid of a huge potential problem there for us. So now he's going to come in with Gardevoir, trace our Dragon's Maw, not like it's going to do anything for him. And we obviously can't stay in on this matchup, so we are going to go ahead and switch. I think, what is our best switch in here to this thing? What do we switch in? We don't have the best of switches here, but how do we want to play this? We definitely don't have the best of switches, but I think we probably just come in with the Bisharp probably as fodder. I think that's probably our best option here, so that's what we're going to do, because we need a clean switch into something else. So we're going to go ahead and just switch the Bisharp in here, as he does go for the Moonblast. And we can actually take it with 5 HP, Bisharp able to hang on, which is actually really fortunate for us, because that means we can actually go ahead and try to get a Sucker Punch off here against this thing. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We go Sucker Punch, we connect with it, takes this thing down to about a quarter HP. Unfortunately, it does survive. Go for the Moonblast, and that will finish the Bisharp and knock us down to 4. But Bisharp did great there, definitely did some good work there. So I think we actually just come in with the Sneasler here. I think that's going to be our play. So there it is, and we should definitely outspeed this thing. So I think our best course of action here is just going to be to go for a Dire Claw, so that's what we're going to do. As he actually goes for the switch on the Gardevoir, interestingly enough. Going to go ahead and come in with the Rotom Wash, which is kind of fine. As we go for the Dire Claw here, that is going to do a ton of damage to this thing, knocking it into the red. Max Attack Choice banned. It does survive and pop a Citrus Berry to get some HP back, which is kind of fine, because we know there's no way it can take another one of those, so we're just going to go for a Dire Claw again here, and that's going to take the Rotom out and knock him down to 2. So Sneasler doing some massive damage there, which is incredible for us, obviously. So now he's going to go ahead and come back in with the Gardevoir. Interestingly enough, going to trace our Poison Touch, which is kind of fine. I feel like he would have only brought this thing in either if he was going to Terra, or if maybe this thing is Choice Scarf and it's going to outspeed us. Either way, I feel like we probably just... I think it's worth the risk because we don't have the best of switches to this thing. So I think it might be worth the risk here. To just see if we can take this thing out with a Dire Claw anyway. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's worth it. We just stay in and go Dire Claw here. So, unfortunately, my gut was right again. His Choice Scarf goes for the Psychic, and one-shots are Sneasler knocking us down to 3. So, yeah, definitely should have seen that coming, but what can you do? So, I think actually our best move here for this thing is going to be to go ahead and come in with the Electrode once more, so that's what we're going to do. We're still not in a terrible spot, actually. Now we know this thing's Choice Scarf, so we can kind of play around it. So knowing that this thing's Scarf, it may stay in, it may switch out. Not sure. The question is, do we want to Terra here? I kind of don't think it's necessary, although if he switches in, you know what, he might switch in the Meowscarada here potentially, so I kind of do want to Terra, actually, predicting that. So you know what, I think we actually are going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and Terrasilize into an Ice type and go for that Terra Blast Ice, predicting the switch, as unfortunately he does stay in. So he does stay in instead. We're going to go ahead and Terra anyway, Terrasilizing the Electrode into an Ice type, giving it better offensive typing here, not better defensive typing, obviously. And so he does outspeed, goes for the Psychic. That is going to do a ton of damage to us, but we do survive with a quarter HP. Going to go for the Terra Blast Ice here. And that is, from that range, Choice Specs boosted, going to be more than enough to take the Gardevoir out and knock him down to just 1 Pokemon. So kind of Terra'd for no reason there, but hindsight kind of 20/20. So his last Pokemon is going to be the Meowscarada, so he's going to come in with that. And so if this thing is not packing Sucker Punch, the Terra might actually be really good. So we're just going to stay in and go for the Terra Blast Ice here once again. And it'll depend on if he's carrying Sucker Punch. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So he is not carrying Sucker Punch. We do outspeed, go for the Terra Blast Ice. Max Special Attack, Choice Specs boosted. And it is going to be enough to just go ahead and one-shot that Meowscarada outright. And that is game. Alright, so we are going to win that one 3-0 against Victor, but that was a really good match, actually. Really fun one. Pretty fast pace, high octane game there. And yeah, pretty solid one all around. So, that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. Also, this is going to be the last match that I post with this team. I had a lot of fun with it, and it was very successful for me, which is always a plus. But we are going to be putting this team to the side for now, and as you guys can probably guess at this point, we're going to be picking back up in the BHDL1 Draft League tournament where we left off here, with not only a playoffs appearance in the quarterfinals, but before we get to that, we're going to have a playoffs preview video for you guys where we go over all of the coaches, teams, and matchups in the BHDL1 playoffs. So we're going to have all that coming your way next time. So stay tuned for that. That's it, and we'll see you next time.